Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us in RTT Round Round Table Talk 3.0. And today we'll have a very discussion. We're going to be discussing superheroes, not any regular superheroes, but Marvel superheroes. According to Amy Watson on Statista.com, Marvel has been under various names since the 1930s, and they have produced some of the most recognizable fictional heroes in the United States and captured the imaginations of generations of young fans. And today they will be discussing with us Obinoa, Nelly, Kyle, and Emmanuel, which Noah is starting off.
Hello, everybody. My name is Noah Sewell, and today I'll explain to you without a doubt why Spider-Man is the greatest Marvel superhero of all time. When you hear about Spider-Man, you don't have to Google him. You don't have to go to your little cousin to know who he is. He's instantly recognizable, pretty much household, everyday use name. According to Scott Mendelson from Forbes.com, the Spider-Man franchise, including the movies, TV shows, apparel, toys, everything, has grown to an estimated over $7 billion just within these past 20 years. And then, according to IMB.com, out of the top 25 top highest-grossing superhero movies of all time, Spider-Man holds 6 places with the 6 movies in the Spider-Man franchise, each movie grossing over $900 million, about average. According to an article by Rochelle E. Greenspan of thetimes.com, that Spider-Man is number 9 in the top 50 most recognizable superheroes of all time. Basically, you don't have to look around or even ask anybody to get confirmation of who Spider-Man is. Pretty much everybody knows who he is. From the newest superhero movies that we've all seen, all the way back to his first comic book appearance in 1962, Spider-Man has been capturing the interest of American adults and children everywhere. And who else to say that Spider-Man is the greatest superhero of all time than none other than Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics and creator of Spider-Man himself. If he says that Spider-Man is the greatest, I don't know who else could be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Noah. And now let's hear from Emmanuel.
I believe the greatest superhero is Blade. I think Blade because before other superheroes in 1973, Blade featured in Dracula and was the first African-American Marvel rated R movie there was. Also, I don't believe popularity and money makes a superhero. A superhero is someone who will go out of their way to protect humanity without humanity knowing about it. And that's what Blade does. His mother was bitten by a vampire, so he retained all the powers of vampires, but none of their weaknesses. And from birth, he's been struggling with his own demons, as in like blood sucking, the feeling of going and feeding on people, which he has to struggle with every day and learn to control. And also, he fights literally vampires and the army of darknesses, and he stays under the radar. And it's him or a small team. He doesn't have Avengers. He doesn't have anybody else. It's literally him, Whistler, and 2 other vampire hunters that you'll see rarely, and him alone versus the entire world of monsters. And I believe, like, as a African-American superhero and coming out at that time he did, around the 1973s, it was revolutionary. And people didn't realize it until, like 2 years ago when Wakanda came out, Black Panther, and people were like, oh, the first Black superhero. And it's like, no, you have Blade. Blade was a commercial success. Blade 1 instantly got sequeled. All 3 films grossed over like $415 million. And it was just for me, that's amazing. It was something that like a lot of people don't know about, but also like you don't really have to know about it for it to be super, just because like I said, like you don't have to be, it's not about the money, it's more about what you're doing when no one's looking, what makes you a hero. And yeah.
Right. All right, Emmanuel, thank you. As you heard, Blade, the first minority to play an R-rated film. Kind of weird, but okay, no problem. Let's go to Kyle.
What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to tell you why I believe that Iron Man is the greatest superhero of all time. I know that there are many great superheroes out there, but I feel like none have left the impact that Iron Man has. I want to start out with the first movie, Iron Man 1. I hold this to be the single most important superhero movie of all time. Without the success of Iron Man 1, there would be no Avengers, Thor, Spider-Man, Hulk, Black Panther, and so on. According to CNBC.com, the entire Marvel universe has made over $22 billion. Since Iron Man 1, Marvel has released 22 movies with 8 upcoming movies in the next couple years. So that's 30 movies and $22 billion hinged on the success of one superhero in its movie. And then next thing is I also think that Iron Man is the most realistic superhero out there. Every other superhero was made in a lab, stung by a spider, injected with poison, or is like a god or some type of thing. And all these scenarios are not realistic. They're not going to happen in real life. But someone who made a metal suit that can fly is not like too crazy out of the realm of possibilities. So I think that's just a little more relatable. And so in closing, I think Iron Man is the greatest superhero of all time because of the cultural impact from the movie franchise his character started and his relatability.
So you think he's the greatest hero because of the boost on his uniform? Awesome.
Yes.
All right, but it says too early to throw some jabs, so I'm sorry. Now going for the last not least, Nelly, what do you have for us?
Hi everyone, and thank you. I'm here to really truly explain who the best superhero is, and it is obviously Captain America. There are many reasons why, but let me give you a rundown of his top highlights. For one, he's the captain of the Avengers. If there was no Captain America, there'd be no Avengers. There'd be no one to lead them. Obviously, his morals, he has more morals than any superhero, maybe even human out there. He prefers the safety of others rather than his own. He doesn't care if his life is at risk as long as he defends others. He survived being frozen for almost 70 years. Who can do that? Definitely not Iron Man. And then, of course, his number one accomplishment is he beat Iron Man in Civil War. That's amazing. The first thing to consider and adore about him is that aside from his superhuman strength and his ability to seemingly defy gravity when he uses his shield, is that Captain America really is just a regular good guy. Originally, Steve Rogers, who's Captain America's alter ego, wanted to fight during World War II, but was considered too weak to join, but he still tried to enlist multiple times. In Captain America, the First Avenger, you find out what makes Captain America the best superhero. Colonel Phillips throws a fake grenade to see what recruits would do. And while all of the other recruits who were a lot stronger, a lot taller, had a better build, ran the runt of the group, Steve Rogers jumps at the grenade to save his comrades. This is what ultimately leads to him being chosen for the super serum. In the film Thor, Odin banishes Thor and he says, "I now take from you your power. In the name of my father and his father before him, I, Odin, All-Father, cast you out. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." If you watched Age of Ultron and obviously Endgame, you know that Captain America ends up being able to wield the hammer and use it just as Thor does. Other Marvel heroes are born into great powers or have power thrust onto them. Most of the time, it's by accident. Iron Man is a privileged whiz kid who creates armor that eventually makes him powerful. Thor is the god and heir of Asgard. Spider-Man is bidden into his power. And Deadpool is a failed experiment who's motivated by greed. I mentioned Blade, but who is he? Anyway, when all is said and done, Captain's story is quite simple. He's a weak guy who became stronger without ever forgetting what it was like to be weak. While other superheroes became that by chance, Captain was made one by choice. I'll finish this off with something that Sci-Fi Wire said. In a movie universe filled with robots and aliens and gods, he's a necessary moral center and the only Marvel hero fully equipped to cut through all of the bullshit. He may not be the Avenger you'd like to be, but he's the Avenger that we should all be. Steve Rogers will always be the skinny kid who was willing to sacrifice himself to save his fellow soldiers.
I'm sorry, Nelly, but you actually touched something personal to me. I mean, come on, what's wrong with Deadpool?
I mean, aside from his morals, his greediness, his selfishness.
He's self-healing. He's okay. Yeah, he's self-healing. He has ninja skills. Everybody loves ninja skills. Not only that, okay, he has some type of mental disability, but it gives the people that suffer from mental disability, it gives them a view that anyone can be a superhero and not just people with mental disability has to be a villain. And not only that, to top it off, he's pansexual. Anyone can be his partner regardless of sexual orientation. Right. Okay.
But I don't consider Deadpool a superhero. I consider him an anti-hero.
Oh my God! You know what?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Is he a superhero?
You know what?
No, he's anti. You're right.
Hold on. Let me say this. Anyone in the audience could. It's an open discussion now. She just throw out the gloves. I need some help. If you guys can help out. Or you guys want to attack, go for it. But we're taking any comments or discussion or any questions.
Everybody knows Blade's the best. Everyone knows Blade's the best. It's okay.
I don't even think these people know who he is.
That's why he's the best. You don't need to know who he is. He will still protect you without knowing.
He sucks people's blood.
Nah, he has little packets in the ketchup, he takes around, and that's all good. I don't see Steve Rogers fighting with his own demons. And then I don't see Iron Man having any superheroes. I just see him having his daddy's credit card. That's it.
You know, Blade, I'm sorry, Emmanuel, I know how you mentioned that Blade, he's alone. He doesn't have the Avengers to help him. But have you ever considered that he's alone because no one wants to be around him? Like, no. It's not by choice.
He's featured in the Avengers and they recruited him, but he chooses to isolate himself because he'd rather be solo. He avoids
okay,
the
it seems like everybody's throwing jabs. All right. Any of the audience members, what do you guys think? What do you guys, so
what's your top pick?
Has anyone persuaded you, or what do you think? Just at least give us a superhero that you think will be the better one.
I'm with the what's his name again? I don't see his face. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to say Emmanuel. I'm with Emmanuel here.
Woo! That's one.
Right. We have one with Blade. Anyone else?
Yeah.
I'm with Kyle. I'm an Iron Man fan.
Oh my God!
Iron Man is
two credit cards.
Yeah, I'm also a really big Iron Man fan.
Another one. Ouch.
Oh, two.
I will get to you people in a while. I'm going to let you discuss, but I will bring up the cons of why you're all wrong in a minute.
Julia, how about you, Julia? I just see you smiling, but not trying to say anything.
I like Captain America.
What?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of his movies, and I think that he's like the better superhero out of all.
You just like his butt.
Not bad to look at.
All I think is that Captain America.
No, that's a damsel in distress signal there.
Wait, so you're telling me if I come out with spandex, I'll be a superhero?
No.
Malay, what about you, Malay? You're kind of quiet.
I'm not a fan of superheroes.
Oh.
But I would say for the guys, I think Thor is pretty different out of all of them.
Oh, she likes them with long blonde hair and a hammer. That'll be another discussion over here, but you're on. Okay, he's part of Marvel. All right. Anything that you like besides his long hair and hammer?
If I'm not mistaken, it's his superpowers. Like, I don't know if he's the one that like deals with water. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of superheroes. I'm not really sure.
Aquaman.
Oh,
From DC.
not him, but Thor.
Oh, okay.
He
All
just
right.
has a different look to him, to me. That's what makes
Okay, so in other words, you like him with long hair, right? All right.
Not always.
Not always. It all depends, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What about Elizabeth?
You know what? I like a lot of superheroes. I really do. If I have to pick of what you guys discussed, I probably would go with, I don't know. So I like X-Men and I like Batman. So you guys didn't discuss that. But I think I would have to go with, let's see, maybe Superman?
That's good.
Or Spider-Man, I should say, Spider-Man.
Thank you.
Oh, what
Spider-Man.
All right.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is cool.
Spider-Man.
In terms of not talking about Marvel, Batman would be superior because Iron Man is a Batman football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to pick one. because I just like all the superheroes pretty much. So
Right.
All right. So you don't have a preference. You just take a buffet. I'll take all of them.
yeah, there you go. Yes, yes.
All right, that's better.
Instead of
You're
watching
neutral.
them,
You're
yeah.
decide. All right, it's good.
Yeah.
Be careful. Make sure you go to Marvel because this guy back here, my friend Deadpool. Yeah. Come on.
But what does he do? Like, I'm so confused.
I'm not a
Do
very
anything. You just
Like, what does he do? I don't get what Deadpool does.
He's a mercenary with a mouth.
That's it. Yeah.
yeah.
That's boring.
Mostly he's just a
It's not
mouth.
boring. Watch the movie, and I bet you won't be. It's boring. What superhero showered himself with bullets right here? Look at it. That's sexy right there.
That's pretty.
I like mercenaries. I like their cause when they're when they're going out there defending the helpless and all that. They see the rich with all the power and they take from the weak and the poor, and so the mercenaries come out to defend, like Robin Hood style. They just go there and defend and bring. Yeah, so I like mercenaries.
Anne Marie, you're my new best friend now.
I like their cause. I've always liked their cause. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What's up with Spider-Man?
That's why I really like him.
All right.
Anyone else? Emmanuel was trying to say something. Noah?
What's up with
I have
Spider-Man?
something. Oh, go ahead, Manuel.
No, I was just saying, what's up with Spider-Man? I haven't heard anything about the 16-year-old with webs.
Let me. I will explain right now in definitive detail why each one of your decisions is wrong. I'm going to come in hot and hard. You're not going to be able to stop me right now. Mr. Kyle, when it comes to Iron Man, you said yourself that you like him because he is a narcissistic playboy. It seems as though that you like him the most because you can identify with him. So you're saying that you are indeed a narcissistic playboy? Has that been given to him by his daddy?
100%. Yes, yes.
Isn't it true that Iron Man caused the entire attack on New York, the Age of Ultron, everything that could have destroyed the planet? And I'm saying that because isn't Iron Man's one job of the Avengers to save the Earth when all he's done is bring terror to it and try to destroy it? You may call him Iron Man, but I would call him Ironic Man.
Ironic Man.
And now, Nelly, don't think I forgot about you. When it comes to Steve Rogers, you look at him, yes, he may be this tone-chiseled god of a man, but didn't he also take drugs in order to get this body that he has? So
Yep.
wouldn't you say that he's encouraging American children to take steroids to achieve bodies that they could
What do you think of that?
You know,
He's encouraging children to look that good.
Through steroids.
Not to mention the biggest fact that Captain America may have a big heart and he may have America's ass, but that's all that he is, an ass.
Oh.
Damn.
If you have an ass problem, just do squats. Easy as that.
I think this show is rigged. Everyone's just coming at Captain America.
Mr. Emmanuel with Blade. I would rag on Blade, but honestly, I don't know enough about him to diss him. If it comes to a thing of racial diversity, recently Spider-Man came out with Into the Spider-Verse that introduced the on-screen appearance of Miles Morales, who is not only a Black African-American Spider-Man, he is also Puerto Rican, so he speaks Spanish and he's very in tune with Spanish cultures. And you ask me, that's the most diverse superhero I could have seen, except for maybe an Asian Spider-Man. There's also to mention the one fact that Spider-Man is greater than Blade because Blade has one fundamental flaw. Blade is a vampire, and you know what vampires do? They suck.
Wait.
That was good. That was good.
Okay, you seen that he sucked. Says the guy that's representing someone that spits. I mean, look at it. He sucks. He needs to suck blood in order for him to live. You have Spider-Man that spits or shoots cobwebs out of his wrist, making a mess in the city. Other than that, you're going off topic. And now for that, we're going to have to round this up because we're running out of time. I'd like to thank all of you, especially our guests, for joining us on our RTT Round Table Talk 3.0. Thank you again for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll wait for you for the next discussion, which we don't know when it is because this is the last one. Thanks again, guys.
Yes,
have a good day.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for joining.